What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the red color, playing as Odin. His name is Count Von Count. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Ra. His name is Kimo. The map is Midgard, and this is a best of 3 as a part of the King of the Gods 2 tournament hosted by Ray Del Age. If you want to check out more of this tournament, I do recommend checking out his YouTube channel. He is, I believe, a Spanish-speaking YouTube channel. So for those Spanish viewers of mine who are not aware that there are Spanish YouTubers out there creating Age of Mythology content, definitely go check out that. But this tournament is effectively a double elimination bracket style tournament. So you get 2 shots, and I believe this is on the winner's side of the bracket. I'm not exactly sure where in the stages we're at. I don't know if it's like first round, second round, semifinals. I don't know. But both of these players, I think, have got their lifeline alive. So if whoever loses after this best of 3 is still going to be kicking and creating some havoc in the loser's side of things. But Kimo here, he's playing Ra. We're on the map Midgard. If you guys have not been following me for very long and have got your own opinions on Midgard, I think I'll tell you this. I do believe that Odin, Loki, and Thor have got a very, very strong time on this map. I enjoy playing the Norse gods on Midgard probably the most out of any civilization. If I asked myself the question seriously and I knew I was playing on Midgard, I reckon I probably would go in with the Norse god after all is said and done, because I just enjoy playing them here. I think it's so much fun. The only hard part about playing Norse on Midgard is the build order. After that, everything else just kind of plays itself, and you just have a lot of fun. You can go for really, really aggressive early game plays. You can go for sort of defensive semi-fast heroics to play around with the Kraken, or even semi-fast mythics into getting the Jormunelva, or even like a 2-town center semi-fast mythic into Ragnarok to try and get a gold staff. Lots of different options for Odin and Norse in general on this map. So we'll see how it's all going to go. Kimo does have a good pick here in Ra, but in terms of the best gods on this map, even though Ra's got all of that extra oomph with the economy, with the extra like 20% bonus overall in power rate coming from the 5% extra in power rate from the Pharaoh and the 15% in power rate from the Priest, even with that extra oomph, I feel like overall it's better to play Isis, it's better to play Set, because you get access to Nephthys, and Nephthys is really good. You also get access to to Thoth, which is low-key very, very good on this map as well. Idea being you get 2 free myth units on the water, which end up being a huge help to getting some free raids off, getting some good damage done, some good defense against some other players who are trying to be a little bit more aggressive on the water, allowing you to get away with a lot more other stuff. As we do see the temple now coming up here for Kimo with the Pharaoh empowering it. A little bit odd to see that, if you ask me. I don't think this is needed. This Kimo is not going to be able to advance until maybe 5:15 at the very earliest. But we'll see how things are going to go. Count Von Count now, looking like he's ready to advance. He's got all his fishing ships out. He's got his 2 docks down. His temple is up. Houses coming down. I love this build. I love the fact that he's shared the wood line over here, and he's got that ox cart out much, much later. That's helped accelerate the early game incredibly here for Count Von Count. In fact, it's effectively as if Count Von Count is playing Thor here on this map, but without the weakness of not having Njord. You could say that's a weakness or not, but I definitely prefer the Njord on this map 9 times out of 10 as Norse. But we'll see how things are going to go. As Kimo here, he is going up through Bast. Bast is a great pick here because it gets access to the Sphinx, which is going to be able to get him so much scouting information to know exactly what's coming for him. And there's going to be a lot of different ideas here that Count Von Count can go for. The question is Count Von Count going to go super aggressive here or not? He's only got 12 fishing ships out, which indicates to me the Count doesn't really want to go for any sort of water fight at all. He is still building a couple more fishing ships at the same, moving them around, but he hasn't got the docks down. Generally, you want 3 or 4 docks down here on Midgarder's North to defend all of your fish. But Count's just going straight for the longhouses. He is getting very aggressive here. Kimo, on the other hand, just about to hit that next stage. We see the monument to the villagers coming up. He's got himself 18 fishing ships, 5 minutes and 15 seconds advance here. Very, very nice and clean here from Kimo thus far. As the Valkyrie coming in onto this position here is going to get pushed back nicely. Kimo immediately moves back over onto the wood line. Could burn this forest down and open this up as well, but he's deciding to burn the bottom side of the wood. Nonetheless, moving up to the top side of the map. We still haven't seen the per scene coming through just yet here for Kimo, so it's a little bit late on that one. Whereas Count Von Count, I'd be surprised if he actually got it. Yeah, he didn't, because he's only got a handful of fishing ships, and his aim here isn't to stay on the water at all. He's going for a very, very aggressive all-in, distracting with that Valkyrie nicely at this point. Kimo's got no idea what's coming for him. In fact, he's throwing down the armory. And Count Von Count is just going to pop in here and just say, hello, sir. I've got tons of units. You don't. There will be a whole bunch of cabinets heading around to kill off the economy of Count Von Count. But Count Von Count's now just about to say hi and say goodbye to this watchtower. Goodbye to this monument to the villagers. And good luck dealing with what's coming for you. As the villagers turning around, getting involved over here. They are very, very strong at taking out those units here, dealing 8 damage per second. They got up to 8.8 with the upgrade, but Count Von Count is putting a lot of effort into taking out this tower with the wooden wall coming up here, blocking that one. Looks like the tower is going to be surviving here as beautiful defense thus far from Kimo. That's not what Count Von Count wanted in the slightest. He wanted that tower dead. He wanted to put the pressure onto this wood line, basically cut Kimo off of wood completely. We see the barracks coming down now, though, for Kimo. He's getting out 2 barracks, 3 barracks even coming up here, trying to keep that tower alive, repairing it back up as the cabinets are moving around here. Sphinx on this position does end up getting sniped. One of the big weaknesses of the Sphinx is that wind down attack animation takes a long time to do anything here. As Axemen are coming through, but actually the unit that Kimo really wants here, after all is said and done, he can't get it. It's the Wadjet, because he didn't go through Pthar against this classical fight. The Wadjet is a pretty priceless unit. As you do see the cabinets coming through over here. Will Count Von Count be able to react to this or not? He does pull back in nicely, as the army's going to be pulling away. Count at this point, he can build a handful of boats here if he wants to defend. But Count pulling back, and Kimo's in a commanding position. He's defended really, really nicely. He does have plenty of gold left here, and his second gold mine is behind this town center. This is exactly what you want to have as a Ra player, as a Hades player, as a Gaia player, any of those kind of defensive gods, is that back gold mine. Helps out a ton. As Count Von Count decides to pull back in, but he's still taking just so much damage from this watchtower. This Count's going to pull away here.
In wedge.
And Kimo does hold for the time being. We do see some longboats are pulling out here to try and defend the water. Kimo's only got a handful of cabinets, so a handful of longboats should be enough to defend here, but he does have to be very, very fast. Nice garrison there before Kimo was paying attention. As the house is coming up on the front here. Units retreating away. The hardest part about dealing with this army now for the Norse is how does he deal with those axemen, and how does he pick off that pharaoh, because that does so much damage. 14.4 damage per second. God, I got a tickle in my throat. As the longboats are out, the cabinets will have to be pulled back home or away from whatever's happening here. There's so much fish on this map. It's never too late to throw up another dock and get some more fishing ships out. It's never too late to get that economy continuing along. If you do go for like a 6 fishing ship advance on Midgard. You can always go up to 18 fish later. If you go for a 12 fishing ship advance, you can always go up to that amount later. Really, really nice control here from Kimo. Count on count, not really paying attention. He could take this fight. He's deciding to retreat away. Lots of low HP cabinets here. He would definitely find a victory on that front there, but he has to pull back. As a fishing ship gets taken out, raiding cavalry starting to split up. As Kimo pushing through, we've seen armory coming through, a town center coming through. Count on Count's trying to do a lot at once here. He's not building military anymore, which I do like. The idea being that if he can get a frost off on the army, pick off the entire army, that's going to hurt Kimo a lot more than if he can, than if he just builds units and tries to fight. But getting the second town center does put behind that heroic age timing quite significantly, as the Raven flying overhead does spot those gold villages over there. And the military buildings will go down. They take a very, very long time to kill off military buildings with Axemen, only 5 damage per second. There's a handful of spearmen here as well. If we take a look at Kimo's perspective, he is getting himself his second town center now up. He's got a very, very safe gold mine back here with a nice wall. Wouldn't mind seeing another wall over here just to completely seal that one off. As the longboats meet the cabinets in the middle of the map here. Kimo's got to be very, very careful with these fights, to be honest. As we do see some longboats now hitting the raids over here. And we have Kimo hitting the heroic age through Hathor. And he's going to have that rock. He's going to have that Patsukos. And that's a huge boost here. Monuments of the Soldiers also coming up for Kimo as well. Is Count Von Count going to be pulling back for the time being? Those cabinets getting cleaned up. Fishing ships, we're still seeing more longboats getting built out here. Looks like Count on Count has stopped them for the time being. But yeah, one thing that you kind of have to do as Norse on water maps is pull villages off of wood and just put them onto the hunt. There's so much hunt over here. Get yourself hunting dogs. You don't need that much wood income. More as it just takes so long to kill off these longhouses. It's almost better to just ignore them a little bit and just look for the villager raids and things like that. As Kimo here, he's getting a third town center up. He's taking this really, really slowly. There is a huge weakness in the position of Kimo right now to Ragnarok, which is this gold mine will be expired at some point here, which means he has to move forward here, or he's got 2 gold mines back here as well, but breaking through this town center isn't going to be hard for a Ragnarok. So Kimo's going to have to prepare for that one nicely as well, as we do see the rock getting pushed back. Looks like those Drone Axemen don't have their upgrade just yet. So the rock's still going to get some value here. As Count Bomb Counts, longboats still searching around to pick off some things. The units pushing in onto this position for Count on Count, trying to deny the town center completely here if he can. We see some longhouses coming up. Count is at 130 population, and at this point, I don't see... Is there a Migdol up? There isn't even a Migdol up just yet for Kimo. So no chariots, no cavalry, as the Locust does get dropped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dead villagers. Not a bad Locust at all. Kimo's never going to be upset about that one. A significant amount of damage dealt. You know, the thing about Locust that I think is the most frustrating is that sometimes it kills 0 villagers, and it gets you conditioned into thinking that it's really bad if you lose a handful of villagers to those god powers. But the fact of the matter is, you've got god powers like flaming weapons, frost, bronze, underworld, all these god powers that give massive amounts of value. The Locust should kill a handful of villagers. It should. Curse kills a handful of villagers guaranteed every single time. Just saying. Is Count going to the next stage? Yes, he is. And he is going through Njord. I love the Njord pick. It's a bit late, but it might be enough to push through here. As Kimo's 145 population, he's got an eye on this town center, and we do see The town center attempting to get grabbed here by Kimo as well. Count on Count's got a very, very difficult time in front of him as Kimo tries to block the Walking Woods with his rain, but he's too late there. As we see a handful of what is going on here from Kimo. He just builds a handful of cabinets. I don't know if he's worried about the Kraken or what, but he's just built a handful of cabinets. He's about to lose this town center. He's getting this one up. Though a mountain giant could walk over there and put a stop to that. Where is the mountain giant of Count on Count? It's walking to this town center. Potentially can kill that one off while all the chaos is going on. As the Kraken finishes off that cabinet there, basically. Smack. Dead. And Count is basically equalized here. He spots the town center, but he's too little too late. This does end up going up 2 mountain giants onto this town center, though. As Kimo is under an immense amount of pressure now from Count Von Count. Count Von Count's best, the position where Count Von Count functions the best is the position where he gets to attack everywhere at once. Right now, he's dealing with the raid over here with his Kraken and everything. His Kraken is a little bit idle. He needs to send that over here to help defend. But he's attacking this town center. He's attacking this position over here. He's attacking this town center here as well. As you see a hill fort coming out for Count Von Count as well. Kimo on the other hand, he's still 145 population, but it's all on the water. He's got so many of these cabinets, but they're just not going to be able to do all too much here in this game, it seems. As a town center on the top, going to go down to the walking woods over there as well. And this McDowell stronghold is not going to be long for this world either, as the more mountain giants come through, and there's 3 mountain giants there knocking that down. There is a real big chance here that Kimo is going to get gold stars in this game moving forward. As Count Von Count is motoring ahead, farms coming down in on his town center for whatever reason. There's plenty of hunt on the map, but farms are farms, and we're always going to build those. As the McDowell stronghold now under threat from those walking woods. The Kraken's still waiting on this position to help defend. Manages to snipe one. Wait, doesn't have a special ability up. There he goes. Snipes one of those cabinets. Should be able to win the majority of that fight. There isn't any upgrade for those units just yet. As the mountain giant comes in, one bangs that low HP watchtower. I love this idea here, taking down the temple as well as a priority to prevent any sort of free mummies from coming out. There's mercenary cavalry coming through in a desperate attempt for Kimo to try and defend here. As the mountain giants, 4 mountain giants are going to take down this town center so fast. We do see this town center attempting to come back up as the walking wood is going to be putting a stop to that one very, very slowly. But, I mean, the town center is actually looking like it's going up here as more units are going to be moving through. The hometown center will be falling. The Pharaoh is out, though, so a couple of mountain giants will go down for the trade of this town center, it seems. But while this is going on, Kimo does manage to get himself back up the town center on this position. But meanwhile, look at Kimo's resources. He's got so many resources in the bank. Town center over here does fall, and now Count Von Count moving over onto this position to try and take out this one here. We see some more priests coming out to try and deal with the walking pines and everything else that Count Von Count's got. As this Kraken is still dealing with those units nicely over here. Walls coming up on this position to try and stop that town center from getting up there. This gold mine's got itself 2,000 gold left. There's still this gold mine over here for Kimo as well. As the mountain giants slowly make their way over here. 3.2 speed is very, very slow, but he's going to come in here and try and deal with these town centers as soon as he possibly can. As he comes in, whacks the town center here. Priest is out. Pharaoh is out. I don't think this town center is going to be going down just yet. But the damage, it seems, has been done. Was that 4 or 5 town centers killed so far? I think it's been 4 town centers killed so far. As the fishing ships just get rebuilt as he loses them. Still no extra docks onto the side of the maps here from Count Von Count to get some more food income. Still think that's a bit of a mistake, but he's playing it very, very nicely as the Axeman swinging around. We do see this town center coming back up here now, but the hill fort is up here to kind of slow this one down as the villagers will be possibly moving forward to try and shank this down. We don't have, Kimo doesn't yet have himself the Skin of the Rhino upgrade, so those villagers will be getting picked off very, very quickly here. This Count has now got himself 3 town centers. He's still motoring ahead in this game. As the other problem here for Kimo is he actually doesn't have a Migdol still. Like, he had one, but he doesn't have a Migdol. So he can't build those cavalry or those chariot archers that are so very, very good against the Norse army.
You need to.
As the villagers here do manage to sneak through somehow. Lots of damage coming onto them, but they're mostly getting through. As we see still more raids coming through for Kimo onto the water. Little bits of economic damage is always good. As fortified town centers comes through for Kimo as well. More farms in this main base for Count von Count. There is still a very, very real possibility here for Count von Count to go for Ragnarok. But there's also a very difficult thing to deal with, as we see in the main base, the Mountain Giant hitting both town centers yet again. And we see Horus coming through here for Kimo. That might get denied by the Mountain Giant if Kimo's not paying attention. He's trying to do a little bit too much. Cabinet's on the front, getting attacked over here. Attacked over here. The Pharaoh does pop out, but the units here are immediately going to be targeting that one down. As it seems like the Pharaoh will end up getting sniped. The town center here. The Horus gets cancelled. As Kimo thinks he can't keep this town center up. He might be able to keep it up. I don't know. He cancels his Horus, goes into this town center. Count von Count on the other hand, fortified town centers coming in. Masons would not go astray here either. It's one of those upgrades which a lot of players leave to the last minute, and it's really not a bad upgrade to grab early on, in the slightest. There's a handful of axemen still monitoring this position, trying to prevent that from going the wayside of Count von Count, as the Mountain Giant ends up going down, and Kimo's got to be kicking himself for cancelling that Horus, because his Horus is still coming through nicely here. Couple more fishing ships wouldn't go astray here for Count von Count either. He's on 31 villages at the moment, but his economic upgrades, he's got irrigation. He's actually got a decent amount of upgrades there. And he has hunted the majority of the hunt, at least the safe hunt. This walrus is probably technically safe as well. And we do see some trade started here for Count von Count, so this does indicate that he does want to go for a Ragnarok here. As the Mountain Giant returning back over onto this position. 3 Mountain Giant wandering forth. They're so expensive. They're roughly 500 resources apiece, though technically speaking, Norse favor is free, so that kind of rate doesn't really work. So maybe they are fairly cheap. 250 food. If you've got the food income, which it looks like Count von Count does have here, spam them out. He does manage to take the town center down as well. Which means he's going to be able to take out a bunch of these buildings as well. Potentially even grab this town center for himself. As Kimo here. Wait, Kimo got cancelled! Kimo's mythic age got cancelled again! I mean, he cancelled it himself the first time, but Kimo's in a really, really bad position now. He's been wanting this mythic age for the past 3 minutes or so. The Mountain Giant returning back over onto this position here. We do see the Pharaoh is in. Snipe the Pharaoh down. Box click. Box right click. As the Pharaoh will fall, 1 Mountain Giant does go down. Oh, 7 HP. 7 HP. Not important. What's Count von Count doing? When Count von Count's not over here, he's got to be somewhere else. I just think he's like full economy here. Count von Count is just basically full economy. The Kimo's 1 town center. He's in a very, very difficult position. Still spamming those Mountain Giants out on repeat here, ladies and gentlemen. As yet again, Count von Count going after those town centers with his Mountain Giants, but I think he needs a couple more to really make that work here. Just see some more military buildings. Will Count try and grab this town center for himself is the big question. And Kimo's literally had these 12 medium axemen sitting idle there for the past age and a half. He's going to be like, where's my population? What's over here, my friend? Click the idle military button. As you do see, the Avenger is now out. That's a difficult unit to deal with, though there are Jarls. And Jarls are very, very good at picking off myth units. As the Avenger comes through, he's going to start getting taken out relatively quickly by the entirety of that army there. But does decide to retreat it back for the time being. Still going for those cabinet raids ever so slowly. It's actually a lot better to just go for ramming, like the melee ship. What are they called? Pentacontas. Much better to go for Pentacontas than archer ships because they move significantly faster. So we do see a tornado onto this position. Is it going to be enough? Because there is a temple here, which is going to soak up some of that damage. Count on Count does cancel his own Balder there to go up onto this position. Does go down. No excuse to lose a town center at 22 minutes to a tornado, a naked tornado. No excuse. Need to get yourself masons. Need to get yourself everything there. So we do see the Axemen. They're finally coming in.
Yeah.
As the villagers come over here, going to start shanking that town center, trying to prevent it from going up there. Remember, Count Von Count's got that Balder coming. He's got the trade routes set up. He's got the fishing ship. So if he clicks Rag straight away, it's not going to be all in the slightest. But these Eclipsed Avengers are absolutely doing work here in this game, ladies and gentlemen. As Count Von Count is not able to spend the resources all too well. We do see the Jarls popping out here, going to try and help over here. I wouldn't mind seeing like a Ulfsark get converted and just try and repair this one back up, but not happening just yet. As Count he might have to just pull back and just accept he's only on 2 town centers and Rag. Kimo on the other hand here, he's probably going to go up to 3 town centers. And the question is, will he be able to hold a Ragnarok with no trade and very, very little gold on this map? As Count's Hill Fort has been taken down. There's not going to be any siege here, which is going to be the big, difficult thing for Count Von Count. As he does hit Balder, and he does immediately invoke the Ragnarok God Power. Got up to 292 population. We do see the ramming galleys do come through to try and snipe down some of these fishing ships. You've got to be very, very on top of this here while you're Ragnaroking to garrison those fishing ships. As the Axemen over here do manage to snipe down a handful of those heroes of Ragnarok there. Avenger comes through. It's going to get sniped down very quickly. That town center can get rebuilt back up, or built back up, I should say. No problems. But the big story is that there's all these ox caravans. I mean, they're only getting themselves 18 gold, which isn't the very best, but 7 ox caravans are going to be able to continue to get gold through this Ragnarok, which allows those fire giants to get built, which allows town centers to get grabbed, and all the other stuff. As you do see an attempt to defend here for Kimo. Kimo's on 1 town center. Count Von Count is going to be on 5 town centers with plenty of economy to rebuild. That's the other big thing. He's got 1,000 food in the bank, which is equal to, I don't know, how much? How many villages is that? 20 villages? I don't know. A huge amount of villages can be built very, very fast. Well, it would take a minute to get those villages out, right? Or something like that. And he's already got fishing ships and stuff as well that he can rebuild if he needs to. As the Rag hero is now starting to push into the main base. Towers are up here for Kimo. He's desperately going to try and hold here, but taking a look at the economy here. 104, 120, no gold remaining. Heroes of Ragnarok, push off that gold mine over there. No gold remaining. There is this one over here for Kimo, but that's behind a town center. It's definitely in line of sight there. As the Rag hero is breaking through here, those towers are still doing a lot of damage. The Axemen also are doing a lot of damage. Kimo can sell food for gold here at the moment to get himself those Axemen out. But like I said, even if he does manage to pick off all these rag heroes, he's still got a very, very long game ahead of him. And Kimo in that moment does decide to tap out as Count on Count manages to conquer the Kimo Ra on Midgard here, ladies and gentlemen. Well played by Count Von Count. A very, very solid game here from him, utilizing that Odin in a very, very strong way. I mean, the early game didn't go his way at all, but I think Kimo made a lot of mistakes in the mid game here, especially with the idle Axeman sitting over here for so long. And he just couldn't make it work against all those Mountain Giant raids. Really nice game. If you guys enjoyed it, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.